Yes. Okay. Back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay. Back up. Oh, welcome to Night Stable. Thought we could come along and do a live and meet the team and ask any questions that you want to ask me about anything. And, tell me everything I'm doing wrong and make comments about the horses and all that kind of stuff. So Night Stable, what's Night Stable? Evening stables. We go through the boxes. I have to do this drudgery on a Sunday night myself, so since I'm on my own, you can come on along and chat. Go through the boxes, muck out, because we already mucked out this morning and at noon, but we do muck out in the evening, and we fill up the water buckets. We see how the horses are. These are colts. This is the weighing of 4 colts, and this is Don Theodorus. Don Theodorus is an unraced 2-year-old colt that came to us only recently, and so we're getting to know each other. Don Theodorus wants to be a gelding, and also he is not really, I'm just going to pick this up with my hands because it's on the ground. He is not really mature physically enough to handle training. He kind of lags behind, and he's not finding it easy. So I've suggested to the owner that we just geld him and put him away for a couple of months and forget about him, because he's stocky, he's strong, but his withers aren't mature. Turn. And he's a nice looking horse, but he's not ready yet. So hopefully Mr. Don Theodorus will be off to be gelding soon. Right, dude? And then we can see what potential there might be after that. I've already done, only got 12 to do tonight. Our limit is really 16 with the staff I have at the moment anyway. So we have 4 empty spots, but they're not really empty because we have 2 horses on vacation. We have 1 new one coming, I think it's Tuesday. And we have 2 2-year-olds, 3 2-year-olds out there yet that we haven't decided what we're going to do with, or when they're coming into training. They're in what we call pre-training right now, which means they've been backed and they're hat cantering. And when they're physically mature enough, they'll come in. The thing about colts is that you have to be careful with them behavior-wise. The colt next door is called Nazimbeck. Not sure what that sign means. Okay. High five people who are watching us. The colt next door is called Nazimbeck. He's a 4-year-old colt, Kingman colt, really, really well bred. Won his debut race, not for us, otherwise we wouldn't have him, and then fell to pieces. He had a knee fracture, and then he came and raced once for us and had a pelvic fracture. Sound problem or no? Can you guys out there hear me? And we weren't sure whether we were going to keep going with him or not, but so I threw him in a field and forgot about him for a while. And he's really good looking horse. Hit like if you can hear me, guys, because we're not sure. We have a microphone on, and we didn't do a sound check. So our sound check is you guys. So if anybody's watching, give us a like if you can hear what I'm saying. Otherwise, if I'm just talking and all you're hearing is this, nothing. Great. Okay. Thank you, Caroline, and whoever else is out there for hitting that like so you can hear me. That's good. Right. So Nazimbeck, we're going to give him another shot. Why not? He's here. He's beautiful. He's very fresh and coltish in his box, though. This is Theodorus. He's 2. So, and why am I not closing that bottom latch? Because I'm going to come right back here, and we're going to close that bottom latch later. So, this is Existentialist, a 3-year-old colt that we bought recently. I'm going to put this over here because I don't need it over here anymore. Oh! That's Morheeb, who thinks he's the most important colt here. He actually is, because he's won a bunch of races already for us, and he'll win again. Hi, Irene. Hi, Irene. This is Existentialist. He's a 3-year-old colt. He usually sticks his tongue out when we pet him like that. Tongue tonight? No? Yeah, there we go. So he hasn't raced for us yet because he was a little bit. Could you back up, please? Oh, Colts, back up. No, honey. Oh, really, back up. No. But he'll race for us soon. He came from another trainer that worked him pretty hard, so we took the foot off the gas a little bit. And well done, right? Same thing as, yeah, your buddy up the road did the same thing too. Colts, turn, back up. Colts are not afraid of much, and that's a good thing usually. But they can be, boys will be boys. Okay. On Sunday, the boxes are not beautiful. We redo them down to the bottom on Mondays. So the thing about doing boxes on a Sunday night is that they're not as clean as you'd like them to be. But okay, you guys can live with this until tomorrow morning when you get a fresh bed. It's not horrible. We put new shavings and they're on shavings and what they call pidalen, linseed straw on the bottom. And we do that on Mondays, and then we add it through the week as we need it. Yeah, oh gosh. You can tell where he stands. He stands right here because it's really compacted there. One of the things when we walk into the boxes, we check to see if they ate. It's Sunday, they don't get fed much because they don't do much, so they all ate. See what their water bucket, make sure they drank, and then check the legs, check the health overall. Actually, I don't need to touch his legs. I can see from here they're absolutely fine. But, right, bud? Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're not going to bite me in the ass. Come on. There you go. Right. So, I leave them loose. Why? In a big yard, the guy comes around with his lead rope and don't let him go out though. Ties them up and does the box, does everything they need to do, and then they untie them. We don't really have to do that here because we know our horses pretty well, and well, sometimes they're a pain in the ass when they're just left loose. The movement of a horse is also how they communicate. And I have a question from Caroline. We don't know. Okay. What's the question? Any effects of the Olympics on the horse racing? Yes, absolutely. It's a pain in the ass. The Olympics means that some of the racing that we would have had maybe in Deauville or around here is now all been moved up either to, not Deauville, it's been moved either from the Paris area to Deauville or down to Vichy. So the racing schedule has been impacted. And of course, transport, we have to be careful if we need to go around or across Paris with the traffic, because Olympic traffic has been nuts. We didn't go to the open ceremonies, which is good because you could see them better on TV, and they were wonderful. But we did go to basketball up in Lille yesterday, and the traffic was quite impressive. And in Paris, I've had to drive around Paris a few times before the Olympics started, and they have these restricted lanes. And so you can't, one lane on the Periferique is closed, and that's a monstrous traffic jam. I think that'll do you, bud. Can I move the hay bar on to the next guy? Come on. Hey. No biting. So yes, it has impacted us. We basically are trying to avoid it. And I've got, this is Morheeb. Momo, back up. Yes. Why is Morheeb like this? Morheeb is a very privileged animal. He gets his head out all day. We just let him have his head out of his box. Come on, back up though. But he's a 4-year-old colt by Tornado. He won for us. He won in Fontainebleau this year. He won at Longchamp. He won Where else did he win? He won somewhere else. He won in Pornichet when we claimed him. He's placed a lot of times. He made 92,000 euros last year. And he has turned into a really nice colt. Unfortunately, what he has also turned into is a little bit of a box walker. He doesn't do it all the time. He's been doing it today. Back up. He does it. No. And Clarice has joined us. Clarice, go deal with Clarice. He's a bit of a box walker after a race or a hard workout. So that means he likely has some ulcer issues. Now, about 90% of racehorses have some kind of stomach ulcers. It's not nice. I have ulcers too, so I understand. It's not debilitating, but you do have to take care of them. So a lot of our horses are on sort of a buffer, a gastric buffer, kind of like Gaviscon for us. Could you please move over, my dear? Please, please, please. Over there. Including this guy. And also what we want to make sure, stop, is that they have access, to hay all the time. And I see he actually has run out. So that's not good. I have to get his hay in here. He does all of his stuff right in one corner, and he does not care if I'm standing here or not. No respect for personal space. Right. Yeah. So when we muck out, we do the colts first and the fillies and geldings after. Why? Because we'd like to let the colts concentrate on racing and not on sex. And so we don't want them to be smelling droppings from filly. Could you? No, we already discussed this. Over there. Yep. Thank you. And he's a big sniffer. The sense strongest in a horse is the sense of smell. You might not realize that. Thank you. He's shit for me right now. How often does a horse shit? Once an hour, about. So when you come in the box at night, you should see enough droppings for the afternoon. And if you don't see enough droppings, then you have to be worried, because one of the other things that happens to horses a lot is colic. That, thankfully, happens very little here. I am very careful about what they eat versus what work they do. No, honey. So I've had very few colics in my training career. God, in 20 years, I think we've had maybe 5 or 6, which is pretty. Yep, there goes Clarice and Pirate. Those are our stable goats. They're playing. Oh, come on. There you go. Okay, buddy. Clarice is a pygmy goat. She's about 2 years old, 2.5 now. And Pirate was a gift. Back up. He's a gelded male or castrated male, whatever you call a goat with his balls cut off. That's what he is. A book. And he is not too much older than she is. He was living with an old buddy who died somewhere, and so they were looking for a place that he could come and find new friends. Well, he has. Look at him. No, back. Stay there. Hay is coming. Hay is coming. Yes, Hay is coming. He is a beauty, isn't he? He's turned into such a nice horse. We claimed him the beginning of his 3-year-old season when he won in Pornichet in January last year. And he's just dusty, but he is just he's matured into a really nice animal. And he's a nice guy too. Okay, he's a colt, he's coltish, but to ride, he's a nice guy. He's one of the ones, when I ride him. He's just a gentleman. And why is he still a colt? You might ask. because I meant to geld him 4 times last year, and every time I wanted to call the vet, he made money. And when he was sort of thinking about mares and fillies in the spring, he just had his little sort of adolescent crisis, and then it stopped. So we just left him alone. Now he's 4, and he still goes through his little boy phase in the spring, but then he's okay. I mean, you have to kind of be careful with him, and, you know, don't give him the chance, but he's really quite nice. So we'll probably just leave him. He'll be gelded eventually, because when he's done with his racing career, to be a riding horse, he'll have to be gelding. So sooner or later, those balls will come off, but there's really no reason for us to do it. All right, guy. Plenty of hay for you. Yeah. I was going to say something else about colts, but I forgot what it was. Right? About hay. This is hay. This is foin d'Isère. It comes in these big bales. No, it stays open for now until we feed him. We used to have a Hay-Gain hay steamer, which I miss very much because it's a good thing. But it broke. It broke after 12 years of aggressive and not so nice use. We hauled it down to Cannes-sur-Mer. We did all sorts of... Yep, Tim's following me with the hay. I think the microphone will still be picking up. That there for the horse that's on straw down here. Right, my yard is not the easiest to work because it really wants resurfacing, but that costs probably more money than we're going to spend or able to. It's not really bad for the horses, though, because in terms of proprioception, what they walk on, it's better that they walk on varying surfaces to get used to that. You okay, Tim? No, hold the camera, pushing the hay wagon at the same time. This is Peanut Royale. Peanut is 4 years old. She has another open box because she's a little bit of a weaver. And since we put her in here, she's pretty much stopped weaving. She also has a window to another stall here so she can talk with her buddy, the justicier. So, and Peanut is a very clean horse. She does everything back here. She doesn't cover anything up. Really easy to do her box. Why is she named Peanut? Peanut is pony size. She is, when she was a 2-year-old, she was bought as a yearling. When she was a 2-year-old, she didn't really grow up. She's got nice muscling, but she's small. And I just started calling her Peanut when she came from the yearling sales. And I said to the owner, why don't you just name her Peanut? And he said, oh, but this might be my horse for Royal Ascot. And I said, well, then call her Peanut Royale. So we did. And no Royal Ascot for you because she didn't turn out to be good enough for that. She did win last year, though, and she paid her way. And she made enough money to earn her keep. This year, she's not done so well. This year's been a strange year. The weather has been horrible. And this year also, she's 4. It's hard for fillies turning 4 often. It's a challenging year for them because they have to run against older horses. They have ovarian and reproductive issues sometimes that become a problem at 4. A lot of good 3-year-old fillies don't train on so well at 4. They come back and they're okay sometimes, not all the time, a little bit later, when they hit closer to 5. But often that 4-year-old year is very difficult. We've got another horse from the same owner who was very good at 3 and struggled at 4. And she's still struggling at 5, but we think we may have gotten that. She may be getting somewhere with her now. Peanut, you don't have much of a bed left. Your straw is clean, but there's not much of it. Tuck up, did you eat? Peanut had sort of a colic, but not an impaction colic. Peanut had an ovarian colic. She had a follicle on the left-hand side that wasn't getting out, and it was causing her quite a lot of pain and stress. And that was a week and a half ago. And we can't use Regimate anymore to help horses like this. So there's another drug called Coralon, which helps release the follicle, which helps the follicle come out. And it's given in 2 injections at 48 hours. And we did that. And since then, Peanut is a much happier animal. So I think the Coralon did its job there. She did not eat tremendous amount of straw. I mean, hay. Jeez. Stay there, Peanut. Okay, I'm right here. Up. This straw is okay. I mean, hay. This hay is sometimes feels like straw. This hay is okay, but it's dusty, and I miss having our hay machine. The company went out of business, went bankrupt for a while, and now apparently it is back. So we are going to have to buy a new one. It's a big sort of coffin-like thing that closes and puts high-pressure hot steam through the hay bales. It takes the dust out, kills all the mold spores, and it's just a good thing to have. I'm just going to give you this, Peanut. You're okay, but you've eaten everything. That's good. With these giant bales, it won't really work with this kind of hay, so we'd have to go back to the small bales, but that would be a trade-off I'd be happy to make. So hopefully in the next couple of months, we can get the hay machine back online. The horses love it. The hay it just eliminates a risk factor. It's one less thing you need to be concerned about. Oh, my barrette is quite full for. This is Le Justicier. He's a 3-year-old gelding. He was bought in a claiming race. I bought him in a claiming race about 6-7 weeks ago. The thing with claiming races is that there's a reason horses are in claiming races. Sometimes it's because the owner isn't paying the bills. Sometimes it's not necessarily linked to a problem with the horse. Sometimes the trainer just thinks the horse isn't going to progress any further. It's not going to be a stakes horse or a black type horse. Let's just move it along in a claiming race. So you can find decent horses in claiming races like Morhib. But also you do run the risk of getting a horse that doesn't turn out like you'd want it to. The thing with buying horses, as I've said before, you can buy a horse for $10,000, $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million, and a third will be good, a third will be medium, you can't quite get to the bottom of them, and a third won't be good. So far, he's in the second category because he did win before I bought him. But what I didn't see when I bought him, and this is on me, is that he's really back at the knee. And because he's back at the knee, he could have sore knees or he could have tendon issues. He had tendon issues when we got him. We changed the shoeing. The tendons now are fine, except that his knees are sore. So we're going to run him on the fiber sand, which he hasn't done yet. He's only run on turf. And the fiber sand is a pretty forgiving surface. So that might help us to have him get a performance. He is not a horse, in any case, that will have a long career, sadly. So he falls into the category of what we would call a bad claim. He won't do as well as Morhib has done. That's just but he's a really nice person, though. He's a really nice guy. So ignore that plane. Nice horse, easy to ride. Just isn't particularly thrilled with being a racehorse. Back up, bud. Back up. Let's see, we've put if you want to come and look at his shoes. Here, bud. I know I'm on the wrong side. Show me anyway. He now has high heels, basically. He has a shoe that has some compensation here to help support his knees. Because if you see, He's basically, his knees, this is a good angle to see it. His knees go back. I mean, they're not the right angle. The difference there is that can stress this tendon. For the moment, this tendon doesn't look very nice, but it actually is very fine. The scans show us it's okay. So, and he's stubbed his knee walking into the box the other day. So before we had on just regular flat shoes, and the tendons were good, but the knees hurt. So we had to go back to plan B. And now we'll see what happens there. Yeah, this is Dusty Hay. It's decent quality though. Who's watching? Anybody? 1, 2, 4, 5.
4.
4. Hi, 4 people.
Caroline's still there?
I think she went to watch the Olympics.
Irene's still there.
Is it our Irene?
Yeah.
Yay! This is Irene's horse. Up. There you go, bud. There you go, bud.
Mr. Doug's all there.
Is he?
No, you have to talk to
All right. Brian, you through there? Wave. Oh, gee, I got stuff on me. Good. He's a lovely guy. He's just such a nice guy. So we're gonna hope that the change in shoes is gonna let him. And I think the FiberSan is gonna help us a lot too with him. This boy is called Saxon Village. He's one of our new ones too. He's 5 years old. He came from Greece, and in Greece, the hippodrome. Oops, sorry, bud. Oh yeah, well, you know that's how it works. In Greece, come on, we're friends. It's okay. In Greece, the track closed, so these horses had to go somewhere. So some of them are here, and this is one of them, Saxon Village. He's 5 years old. He is, I believe he's a sprinter. We're going to find that out. He's going to run. The problem when horses come from foreign tracks where they've had a performance, and I see the rider's toed that, they need to get a handicap mark in France. And so they have to run 3 races to get a handicap mark. And so often, especially with the older horses like this, turn over, it's very hard to find 3 races that they can run because so many races in France are linked to handicap marks, especially for the older horses, because he's not a maiden. He's won in Greece. It still counts. So we can't really get him into many races here. So he's going to run a few races that are over his head, really. He ran once. He's 6th in a conditions race, so he's already qualified on the placings for a handicap mark. He has to run 2 more races. So he's got one coming up at Le Test on the 13th of August. Le Test is down south, the other side of Bordeaux. That helps you, on the Atlantic coast. I have a very cool dune there in a park. And then we need to find one more race. The owner doesn't really want to run them in claiming races, which limits us. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, that's a nice barrette, huh? Everybody likes to play with the barrette. Right, I'm not going to dig too big a hole here, my boy, because it looks like you have a lot of stuff buried. I've gotten far enough to see that there's not a colic risk, and I want to leave him a bit of a bed, so you're not going to have the cleanest sheets tonight, honey, but you'll be okay. See, he's laid down today. There's a mark where he was, so that's good. He had his afternoon nap. And, okay, good boy. Can I back you up? Come on. Back up. Ooh, back up. Back. There you go. Sorry about scaring you when I came in. You'll learn how it works. So, that's Saxon. Be exciting to see these horses run for us for the first time because we don't know them all that well. I've had him for almost 3 weeks now. I like him. I like all my horses. Yeah. Okay. Stay there, bud. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Okay. Oh. This is not easy stuff, is it? This isn't great. It's okay.
No, let Sam take it off. Wait. Okay. Yes.
Okay. That's enough hay for you. I'm gonna have to send my videographer to get more hay. I'm gonna have a chat with. Okay. Are there any public out there to chat with? Right, Clarice? Right. So that. Adiman. Yeah. That is a box.
I will turn this around for you.
Okay. I'm off to. That's a box that we've carted out and cleaned out today for a horse that's on vacation, and when it comes back.
I'll turn this around.
Okay.
Here.
All right. We're gonna leave the car show there tonight. Where? Oh.
You can kind of tell people.
We can have a look at this lovely boy. Back up. Oh, yeah, there are a couple of you there. 32 minutes. Wow, I'm working really slow. 3 of you there. No, 3 likes. 4 of you there. This is new to us, this YouTube live stuff. We figured we'd try it since we have time, and some of you have time. This is Kikeo. Kikeo Makani. He's a 2-year-old Penny's Picnic gelding, and he was getting kind of ready to do something. But you can see this is what happens to 2-year-olds. Oops, I don't know how to use a camera when I'm standing for it. His withers are not high enough in comparison with his back. He's basically downhill, and this is how 2-year-olds grow. They grow back and then front and back and then front and then back and then front. And so this guy was training for a while, and then he just decided he wasn't really interested in doing much work because he was growing. And so we put him out on vacation for a couple of weeks, and now he's back, and he's got a better attitude this time. Say hello. That's Kikeo saying hello. Yip, yip. Up, up. Now, 2-year-olds, that's an interesting question. 2-year-old racing. Oh my God, they're babies. We shouldn't race them. No, we should, actually. Science shows us and studies show us that horses that have raced at 2, at least 1 or 2 times, whether they have success or not, if they've gotten experience racing at 2, they will be sounder horses with longer careers. And the key is to dose it. Okay, so this one wasn't doing so well. We put him on vacation. Now he's back, and it's looking more promising that he might actually get to do something on the race course while he's still 2. In Germany, they've got a rule now that 2-year-olds have to pass some sort of vet exam when they go into training. You have to have x-rays showing their knees are closed before they can start and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, that's what a good trainer should do anyway, though. I mean, imposing a layer of regulation is a little bit expensive for owners, and hey, Marianne, nice to see you. Yeah, so it's expensive for owners, and it's something trainers should do anyway. You should dose the work. If the horse isn't ready to run, you don't run. And that's saying that's mentally and physically. We have another 2-year-old called Day After, who I just put on vacation. Excuse me. And she physically wasn't really quite there yet, but mentally she's just devouring the work, and physically she's doing well. And she ran 3 races to get the experience. She didn't run particularly. Wasn't a star. She didn't make money, but she handles it all really, really well, knows what the starting gates are about. Now he's nibbling at my back. And then what we did, stop. I know, you want hay. The hay is coming. Look, the hay is coming. Tim is struggling up the, with the hay. But now she's on her vacation. He's come back and she's on her vacation. Oh, push that hay. All right. Bring this in here. I'm gonna give this camera back to Tim so we've got him and we've got 4 more to do. So we're almost done for those of you riding along with us. Here you go. Thanks for that hay. Back up, Coco. Up. We call him Coco. Back up. Back up, back up, back up.
So you got a couple of questions.
Marion is with us. Remember Marion from his own. Marion, are you not doing equine massage or something now? I thought I saw that you've got a business going, I think. But yeah, it's hard to see. That's why I came in here. But anyway, I think Marianne does horse rehabilitation and massage therapy, if I'm not wrong. Your box is a mess, my dear. Coco has been doing box dancing, not box walking, box dancing today. So, let me see, here we go. And he has eaten everything edible. Yep. He's an interesting horse because all of his brothers and sisters are solid, oh, thank you, solid racehorses. Good, that was just to show me, no, I'm not colicking, I'm fine. Look, you can pick that up. Perfect. And we will. I like it when they do it when you're in the box, you can still pick it up. So, you don't have to come back and get the brouette all over again. So all of his brothers and sisters did well, but none of them were really, really precocious. Precocious meaning they ran as an early 2-year-old. Hi, Clarice, what do you want? Out. So he will be ready to go, I hope, in September or October. But you can only say I hope because he'll tell me and we won't be able to change that. Huh? Nice big horse. All right. Let's bring the hay wagon over. There you go, bud. Oh, this looks good. Right. Is that enough hay? I think so. Now we're going to go down to the last 4 on the bottom. We have 2 empty boxes down there. Vacation. Corella de Ville is the gray mare that some of you know, and it does mostly heavy ground. And Tim is going to do his best to bring that hay back down with one hand. Ooh! And I'm going to go over to the end of this row and let you meet Don Ilias. Which is probably focused squarely on my eyes. Hi, guy. Ooh. Right. I'll get that later. We won't subject these guys to this forever. Hi, bud. I'll keep going. Oh, bud. Move your foot. Move your foot. You're standing right on something I want to pick up. Move. Ugh. Thank you.
Okay.
This is Don Ilias. He's another one of our Greek recruits. He's not Greek, actually. I think he's British bred.
Marion says, I'm not this Marion. Sorry.
There's another Marion.
Been in the yard in 2017.
Yes, I remember riding, and I thought it was the same Marion. My mistake.
When you had Angel and Pink and Catholic South too.
Wow.
I grabbed
Blast from the past. Come and see us in La Morlaix, Marion. That would be cool. We've got a whole new team now. So Don Ilias is 5 years old, and he's run mostly sprints in Greece. They tell me he wants to run longer. For the moment, we haven't seen really what distance we're going to run him at. Well, actually, we know, because like the other one, he needs a handicap mark. He's never run in France. So he has to run whatever race we can get him into. And that is going to be Thursday in Deauville. Back up, bud. He's going to run a 6 furlong, 1,200 meter claimer straight line on the turf. And it's going to be way too hard for him because it's an open claimer. Again, when you have older horses, the entries are not good. And it's a bit shit for your trainer stats when you have to run horses that you know we have to do what we have to do here to get him going. So that's always a little hard to explain to owners, to say, well, your horse is going to run a race over his head, but we have to. So I'm going to see what he can do. Stay there. Oh, right. Okay, cool. Now what a man is coming up. Just get some hay into this dude who actually likes to make your bed out of it rather than eat it. Excuse me. Spider on you. Yeah. He did a good job of eating most of it this morning. Stuffed animals. Why? They all have stuffed animals. It just gives them, it's a toy that they can screw around with and eat and destroy. Some of them have a rubber ball, but they all have something. Just a distraction if they're stuck in their box. We like to get them out in the paddock whenever possible, but they still spend a lot of their day in the paddock. This is Revamp. Revamp is really an interesting guy. Revamp is 8 years old. Revamp has had about 5 trainers and run in 6 different countries. This horse has done everything. He's been in Saudi Arabia. He's been in Maidan. He's been in Greece. He's been in England. He's been in... Bye, Marion. He's been in France twice. Just... Okay, hi, Steve. You can have racehorses again. Come and see us. We have a lot of horses, by the way, that have different, just little owners having parts. So no one has to feel they have to buy a horse just for themselves. Revamp also likes to put his... I have 12 in the yard at the moment, and actually never more than 20. We'll have 16 in a few weeks, and that's okay. I'm not a big trainer, and I don't want to be. Turn, guy. Isn't this a nice looking horse? Yeah. Yes, he's not particularly nice to the maid sometimes, but he's really a nice horse. Yeah, because I'm very hands-on, as you can see. And this has to go. And I like to do a lot of things myself. I'm 61 years old. I was a journalist before I did this. I'm a control freak, ask my husband or my staff. And I like to have contact with my horses. So we need the big trainers. They sort the mess out for us. And we pick up the ones that either aren't good enough for them, or every once in a while we get lucky. We get a nice one. I won a listed race with a horse that I found in a claiming race, and she turned into be a nice broodmare. And one of her offspring debuted nicely today. Not for us, but okay, that's the game. So you have to be realistic. This horse is fun. I can't wait to see him run. He's going to run in a couple of weeks, huh? Right? Good old boy. Yaw. Yaw. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. Not many of you have, but you never know. You're going to find this later, maybe. We've only got 2 more horses to do. Stick around. Don't go out. Here, eat your dinosaur. Get back up. Back up, bud. Back. Yes. Good man. He's going to run in Deauville pretty soon. Also, he has a handicap mark. Hallelujah. He has a handicap mark because he's been here before, and he's already run a couple races for his previous trainer here. So he's rated 34, which no idea if it's too high or not because he hasn't run for us yet. But so he can go. We have many more options for him, which is nice. And I'm really looking forward. He's all dappled, and now he's telling me to fuck off because he just wants to eat his hay. He's just been through so many hands, this guy. He deserves to run a few races and have a nice retirement. That's what we're gonna do with him. That's more hay than you need, actually. I have a habit of giving them more hay than they need. I always want them to have, they have to have something to eat, always. When I take my horses racing, I don't put the muzzle on them. They can munch the straw in the box. Yes, honey, I know you're there. I am coming. That's Man What a Man. Man What a Man is an interesting horse too. We bought him in a claiming race, and for the moment, he's in the bad claim category. But hopefully we can turn that into good claim category. Right, Man? Man What a Man is now a gelding. He was a man when I bought him, and he's just the messiest guy. Yeah, your box. Tomorrow morning, all that comes out. I take what I can. He is such a good looking horse. He is a beauty. And the problem with him is that he had a few issues. He needed gelding. He had a suspensory issue, and that's completely behind him now. But he still doesn't really have confidence in himself. No, honey, I am right here, and I need to be over here. Okay, fine. He wants to eat. Dinner's a little bit late. Yeah. Once he gets his confidence back, I do think he's going to be a nice horse. I certainly hope so. We have a nice group of owners on him, and he has the ability. We just need this to catch up with it. We're working on it. He's getting there. Okay, bud. Yeah. Oh, what are all those little lumps? That's interesting. That's Peanut had those the other day. In the summertime, now that it's just starting to finally get to be summertime, we've had horrible weather and rain all day. Sometimes you find, I don't know if you can see, turn bud, he's got little lumps here. So either he had a little allergic reaction to something, or he got bit by a swarm of something, like little mosquitoes or bugs. And Peanut had the same thing, and it went away after one day. Could be a few things. All right, but I'm going to give you some hay, and then I'm going to get your feed to you because you're the second last horse I need to do. Up. 3. Room. Up. Pick up. Yeah. I don't like them. Yeah, I know. Your manger is more than licked to clean. Oh. Hey, bud. There you go. Yeah. When I talk about horses allowing them to eat all the time, even when we get to the racetrack, I let them munch the straw. When we get to the race courses, the boxes are allegedly clean, disinfected with no other horse having been in it. They have a seal on them, which we break when we come to the race course. Now, I happen to be wearing tonight a lidocaine patch because I have a sore muscle. I had breast cancer last year, and this arm isn't quite up to the strength it used to have before all that happened. So I put a lidocaine patch on it because I'd done all my boxes this morning. Now, in America, you always hear, oh, cross-contamination. Oh, we had a person who had a patch or some ointment or something. Cross-contamination can happen, and you can get a positive test. But you know what? It is not nearly as easy to have happen as some trainers would lead you to believe when they want to tell the story about how their horse never got that drug before. We never saw it before. We have no idea what it is. It must have been one of the staff that they throw under the bus. Normally, that is quite bullshit. So, just an opinion thrown into this little live. This is Faster. Faster is a good claim, or was anyway. Faster is a 5-year-old chestnut filly. Here's the problem with Faster. She's small too. And when she was 3, it was okay because she could kind of get away with it because she was so scrappy and a fighter. And so that compensated for her size. But now she's 5 and she has to run against older, more physically mature horses. And she's struggling with that. So she, she's had some problems like racehorses have. She's a little sore all over, like a lot of them are. But there's nothing major wrong with this horse. So she really loves Deauville. So we're going to see if she can't come back to her form this month in Deauville. If not, maybe it's time for her to find something else to do. I'm thinking about it, but she has to. The goal with all of our horses is that they pay their way. We want, if possible, for the horses to pay their training bills, so that the owners are happy. No. So that the owners are happy and that they'll reinvest in other horses, and just it makes it a lot more interesting if your horse can pay the bills. And there's no reason, and the horse has to pay the bills anyway because the day training rate is not enough for us to make a living on. And it's not enough for most trainers to make a living on. So we have to have our 10% prize money cut. So if a horse is not producing, not running the money, it's not only frustrating for the owner, but it's frustrating for us. So we don't want to take people's money for a horse that can't win some money back. Now in France, that doesn't necessarily mean winning, although Faster's won 4 races for us. If she just comes in the money, she'll pay. We have enough prize money so that she'll pay her bills. So we're still hoping that she can do that this year. Faster. And yes. Can I? Yeah, no. It's hard to do her box because she's always just all over you. Yes. I know. I'm gonna get paid. Stay there, sweetie.
There you go.
She'll be fine. No, that was Corella. Corella, if you gave her the chance, just go galloping across the yard. Okay, you've pulled all of your hay out of your hay net. And yeah, stay there. All 3 of them. Okay. Back up, you. Back. Oh. Right. Some of my horses have hay nets on the side here. We gave these to the horses that were particularly messy with their hay and wasting a lot of hay. And some of them have learned to get around that by just taking all the hay out of the hay net and putting it on the floor anyway. But, okay, we try. That's the age-old thing. How do you get them to have all the hay they want and not waste it? Okay, Festoon, you are the last one to have hay, and then we're going to feed you all. Yep. You have enough on the ground there that is enough for you tonight. And that is the last horse that I need to muck out. That means that we're going to empty this. We're going to feed them, top up their water bucket one more time, make sure everything's okay, tuck them all in for the night, and then put the goats away into their box. Chickens are already away. Olivier Bell. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, please. We need more watch hours so we can ask you for money. Come and do it. And if you have any questions, let us know. Complaints, comments, leave them in the comment field. I will answer them. Bye.